Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening we'll have a look at the latest GFS ensembles, and then we'll have a look at some cape charts, some wind shear charts, and then we'll also have a look at the precipitation, as we do have some big storms coming potentially tomorrow and Thursday for many areas, and there have been warnings enforced in the southwest by the Met Office earlier today. Do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and do remember to follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description. So as you can currently see, we've got this area of high pressure to the northeast, which has been driving up southeasterly winds, bringing up very warm air, and you can see we are within that warm air right now. There is this pocket of low pressure that is bringing quite a few thunderstorms to parts of northern Spain, southern France at the moment, and that's dragging up warmer air with it, but also instability, and that's going to fuel storms and heavy rain tomorrow. It will move northwestwards, so sort of skirt across the western part of the country, but it can still throw some thunderstorms further eastwards, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. Beyond that, high pressure remains to our east, trying to pull up southerly winds once again, and low pressure trying to run in off the Atlantic, but not quite making it in. Beyond that, we maintain sort of a high pressure dominance, with low pressure trying to push in every now and again, but not really making too many inroads. And as we head towards 384 hours, westerlies do start to break through, but we never really get too much cool air, and high pressure by the end of the run does settle down the weather again. If we have a look at the GFS ensembles, you can see that's the general pattern over the next sort of 14 days, similar to what that GFS was showing. Warm over the next couple of days, then it drops down as some cooler air comes in off the Atlantic, but nothing too cool, and we remain above average for the foreseeable future. Some precipitation spikes in there, of course, as we do have low pressure close by, upper troughs around, which could give the potential for some showers and storms, but nothing too significant. At this stage, again, we'll have to look at any storm risk near the time. If we look at the 2 metre temperatures, you can see over the next few days we could get up into the high 20s in the southeast. 26, 27, 28 degrees is possible. I'm not going to look in too much detail on temperatures today. I've done it a lot over the last couple of days. So if you want to have a more detailed look at what the temperatures are like over the next sort of few days, check out yesterday's video. But generally it's going to be around 24, 25 degrees for the next few days. Then it'll probably dip down to maybe 22, 23, and quite widely around 20 degrees, and then be around that for the foreseeable future, feeling very pleasant indeed when we don't have any showers or any thunderstorms around. So if we first have a look at Messio Seal, we'll go through the Cape charts, and then we'll have a look at the storm relative helicity afterwards, and then we may have a look at the shear as well. So if we run through the Cape, you can see there's very little Cape around us at the moment, as we do have high pressure over the top of the country. But as we head through tomorrow, low pressure starts to move northwards, and you can see Cape starts to build in the southwest, and we do actually have quite significant Cape, probably the highest Cape I've seen so far looking at these thunderstorms this year in the southwest, and that is where we got the warning zone for thunderstorms, where they're most likely to break out with quite severely. That Cape does move northwards and eastwards, and you can see there is a line where we could see a line of storms or heavy rain moving northwards throughout tomorrow afternoon and evening, and it's going to be difficult to see exactly how far north or northeast that travels, but the Cape does eventually fizzle out overnight. If you don't know what Cape is, it basically is the energy available to fuel storms. So not only do you need a trigger, but you also need energy within the atmosphere to fuel storms. So Cape is an indication of how much energy there is. So that's where the greatest energy across the southwest. But again, there are small pockets of some moderate Cape as well, parts of northeast perhaps, parts of Western Ireland, and that could fuel an isolated storm. If we have a look at the storm relative helicity, this is basically sort of an overview. You see the surface winds, or the winds within the surface level of the atmosphere, and you also see a colour gradient, which is the sort of the updraft potential and the map rotation. You can see there's negative values and there's positive values, and you can see generally over sort of the UK it's pretty stationary at the moment, simply because we're under high pressure. Further westwards, we do have more updraft, but that's because we've got low pressure trying to push in from the east, but not really making too much progress. Again, it's just triggers. This would trigger storms, but again, you need that Cape to get the storms going. If we go through early morning tomorrow, you can start to see the surface winds. You can start to see convergence zones setting up across the southwest, and you can see some updraft coming off. The real interesting thing, having looked at these charts already, is what happens during the afternoon. You can see just across this region, stretching from northern Wales down to southeastern parts, you've got quite a big convergence zone, which is basically where winds hit each other. When that happens, the wind and the air only has one area to go, and that's upwards. And you can see here we've got a big, strong boundary between quite a large upward velocity and nothing, which could be quite symbolic of a boundary at this convergence zone, where we could be seeing some big storms. Now this is 0 to 1 kilometers in the atmosphere, and you can see that convergence zone really well defined, and it'll be along there where we could see big storms form. Now, as I said, with the Cape does slowly disintegrate throughout the day, so by the time this convergence zone really gets setting up, the Cape could have fizzled out, so we may not see the most severe storms, and that's why the warning zone is in the southwest, because that's where the biggest Cape is. So it'll be interesting to see how long these storms last, and whether they really do fuel up in southern England. If we also have a look at the SRH at the 0 to 3 kilometre range, it shows something even more interesting. If we do run through towards tomorrow afternoon, you see that really big boundary, the convergence zone, but you can also see that negative. Zone of downdraft, and that would be symbolic of where exactly that line of rain, thunderstorms, showers are setting up. So you've got the updraft coming in from the east, the downdraft coming out from the west. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. And it does look at the moment that could be quite a prized position for some big thunderstorms. But again, it really depends on the Cape, and all these sort of factors have to come together to get the big thunderstorms. If one doesn't really come off, then it will just be showery rain, maybe a few heavier pulses. So it'll be interesting to see. If we have a look at the wind shear, again, it's not too significant, but you can see there is some wind shear around, but I don't really expect any sort of tornadoes tomorrow or so. But again, I could be wrong. It's very difficult to predict tornadoes in this country simply because of the microclimates we have with onshore, offshore winds, different wind directions. Very difficult to predict. So I don't tend to look at shear, as we don't really get significant tornadoes anyway, so it's not too much of an issue. If we now have a look at the GFS, GM and ICON precipitation charts, this will really see what the weather models are making of those convergence zones, Cape areas, updrafts, the storm relative velocity. So we'll see what the models are making of it. So if we go through tomorrow, you can see big thunderstorms breaking out in the southwest where that big area of Cape is. And then you see spreading northeastwards. Along that convergence zone there is rain and showers in the evening. You can see here along that convergence zone, but it is fizzling out. So the GFS showing that Cape running out. As we go beyond that, there could be some thunderstorms heading to the southeast on Friday, and we'll keep an eye on that probably in tomorrow's video, and again into the weekend, more thunderstorms heading in from northern France. We'll really keep an eye on that, and we'll probably look at that in tomorrow's or Thursday's video. If we have a look at the GM run, you can see thunderstorms starting to set up in the southwest. GM really doesn't make too much of it tomorrow, which is interesting. Doesn't really make anything of those thunderstorms, but there are showers around, so GM are being a bit on the moderate side with those. But considering there is a yellow warning for thunderstorms in force, I'd very much think the GM probably is in a minority here in terms of downplaying these storms. But there are still showers along that convergence zone, so GM definitely does think something's going to happen, and through Thursday it's showing more storms or showers further eastwards, and again Friday and Sunday and into Sunday evening, again potential for some more showers or thunderstorms. If we have a look at the ICON run, see there is a bit of rain in Western Ireland at the moment, then showers and thunderstorms develop tomorrow morning in the southwest, a bit further westwards on this ICON run, and then you see that convergence zone set up, but again ICON has it fizzling out a bit, and the heaviest rain towards sort of northern Wales. So it really is going to be a nowcast situation, just to see how these storms develop initially over the southwest, and whether they can keep going through the Midlands, or whether it would just be a showery band of sort of decaying storms. So we'll really have to keep an eye on that tomorrow, and I'll update that on Twitter tomorrow. So check out my Twitter if you want up-to-date maps and charts throughout tomorrow. So if we have a look at the thunderstorm warning, you can see it's in the southwest at this stage. As you can see by all those weather models, the Cape is probably greatest across the southwest, sort of southern Wales and parts of the southwest. But you can see on those charts, most of the precipitation is actually coming in a bit further southwards and a bit further westwards. So the thunderstorm risk for the Met Office early tomorrow morning is in the southwest. And I would think they would have put potentially a storm risk out for a wider region. But the uncertainty, looking at those models where the convergence zones aren't quite where the Cape is, and the weather model's not quite predicting the showers within that Cape, I do suspect it could just be rain tomorrow. But there is always the potential. As seen with the Met Office, they state area of thunderstorms will move northwards into southwestern parts on Wednesday morning. Lightning is likely to be the main hazard, but heavy rain and hail is possible. The nature of these storms is that some areas will see little rain or no rain, and some miss the lightning, but where they do occur could be some quite a lot of disruption. So reading into that basically means they're just unsure on the exact location of these storms, but are pretty sure that it's going to be coming in this general area. I do suspect there will be some shower or heavy rain activity further eastwards, but whether it's electric is going to be really the one to watch, and that's what we're going to have to see. Tomorrow. I'll probably update on Twitter again tomorrow morning, just having a look at how those storms do develop. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But yeah, tomorrow though, further eastwards and northwards, it's still going to be a very warm day, perhaps even 27, 28 or 29 degrees. Eclipsing today's 26 degrees. So if we do miss those thunderstorms, it's most likely going to be a very warm day. Where you do see those thunderstorms, it's probably going to be a bit cooler and more clouds around. So finally, if we have a look at the live radar, if we first have a look at the precipitation, you see there's a bit of rain coming into the west, but it's really this low towards sort of northern France, and southern France and northern Spain, which is heading northwards, and these sorts of thunderstorms are going to be heading into southwestern parts. You can see that it'll be these sort of showers and rain, which is going to be heading into the southwest. You can see at the moment it doesn't look too active in terms of thunderstorms, but there are a few thunderstorms popping off in France, so we're going to really have to keep an eye on exactly how that develops overnight in tomorrow, as I do suspect tomorrow morning we'll have a decent indication of how active tomorrow is going to be. Because if tomorrow morning we wake up and we just see it's generally just an area of rain and very isolated lightning strikes, it's most likely that it just really hasn't aligned. But if we do see some quite active thunderstorms tomorrow, it gives probably a greater chance of seeing those further eastward, so do take that into account tomorrow. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you can have another great day tomorrow with nice sunshine around, and if you do see those thunderstorms, do make sure you stay inside and stay safe or whatever. If you do enjoy thunderstorms, I hope you see a thunderstorm tomorrow. But best probably places for thunderstorms again is in the south or southwest, and then there's potential in the Midlands, parts of North Wales, southeastern areas could see some thunderstorms later in the day. But again, it's going to be very uncertain. But generally, eastern areas and Midlands areas are going to be very nice, sunny tomorrow, but probably increased cloud as we head into the afternoon. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe for new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.